retail marketing strategy, retail location strategy, retail finance strategy, and what are the factors are going to be influenced for the growth of retailing in India, and what are the different strategies the retail firms may be adopted for the growth of the retail firms, and what are the trends that happens in the retail sector in the last decade. We have discussed all these things in last three classes, and today we'll continue to the extension of the last classes with a topic of retail product management. So, retail product management, as all you people know that you might be studied in your marketing. Marketing guru Philip Kotler defined that product is anything that can be offered to a market that may be satisfy a need or want. So, product means what? Product is anything that can be offered to a market that is going to be satisfy a need or want is called a product. For example, I'm uh, I want to write something. Then I need a pen. Pen is a product. Then if suppose I'm required to one thing to satisfy my need or want, and whatever is going to be satisfy my need or want, that is going to be called as a product. For example, you may be called pen is a product, and a paper is a product, and now we are using a cell phone uh, to deliver a lecture. That is also a product, and we are also using sometimes a desktop, laptops. All these are the products. Means these all are going to be satisfy the needs and wants of the people. So as per the definition given by the Philip Kotler, is a product is anything which can be offered to a market that may be satisfy a need want. So in other words, a product is a combination of goods or services. Why? Because in the modern era, we are not only dominated by the manufacturing industries, but we are also emerging, witnessing the emerging of services. So a product is a combination of goods and services. So, for example, uh, life insurance is a service. There you do not find any manufacturing product. And now you are attending a video classes. There you do not have any product, physical product, but this is a service. So the service is also what you called falls under the definition of the product. Now we need to be understand that product means not only a tangible product, but also intangible service also come under the definition of the product. So, especially if you come into that, what do you mean a retail product? A retail product also the products which are being offered to a customer for selling. They all are comes under the products. And what do you mean this retail product mix? So the retail, like in your marketing management, you might be studied very well marketing mix. The four P's of marketing. One is product, price, place, and promotion. So these four are the marketing mix. Then in that, the first element of the marketing mix we are discussing in detail today. So the retail product mix. What is the retail product mix? Retail product mix is going to be cover the aspects of retail location, price levels, merchandise store layout for kinds of selling, branding and services. So the retailing mix is going to be covered. The aspects like as a location, price levels, merchandise, store layout, and different kinds of selling approaches, branding. These all aspects together may be called as a retail product mix. So this retailing is encompasses every detail of individual needs of a product. Encompasses every detail of individual needs of a product. So both favorable or unfavorable, and this forms of retail transactions. So and this retail product mix, nothing but just now we have explained that what are the things are going to be covered in the retail mix. So any retailer need to be manage this retail product mix in a proper way. For what? If he want, if the retailer wants to be become successful, he need to be manage the retail mix in a proper way. So if he want to manage in a proper way, what he want to do? He should bear in mind different dimensions or levels that a shopper believes that will add value to the product offered. Means you need to be bear in mind, you need to be consider in mind the dimensions of levels that what shopper is going to be believes to add additional value to his product. So for instance, if suppose when we think of going in a holiday, if suppose today is a Sunday, normally the people wants to be enjoy on Sunday. So if anybody wants to think of going on a holiday, the services provided by a travel agent, the services provided by a travel agent, such as the quality of the hotel services, flight services, comfort, and other add-on services will have a great bearing on the customer satisfaction. So if suppose in a Sunday, normally you maybe go out with your family. So if suppose, for example, you want to go to a Nagarjuna Sagar trip, then for that you approach a travel agent to make a plan and to exercise on that Nagarjuna Sagar trip. For that, if the travel agent to whom you are approached, if suppose he is going to be provide a good hotel services at Nagarjuna Sagar, and the transport services need not to be a flight services, either road connect, roads or on road services or train, whatever it is possible to go to the destination. So, and while going over there also, and after going over there also, you need to have a good comfort and other add-on services, whatever is there. If suppose, for example, in Nagarjuna Sagar, you want to go visit a powerhouse, then you want to take a prayer permission from the higher authorities, and sightseeing, the timings, the locations, everything. If suppose a travel agent provided these kind of comfortable services, then the customer is very happy. The customer is very happy, and these are called retail product mix. So these, therefore, what you want to do, the retailing is going to be consists of not only the merchandise and services offered, but also its quality. So all the times, the retailer's duty, normally the people thinks that only you need to be sell a product, but that is not only one job of the retailer to do it, but also he need not to be offered only merchandise or services, but you have to look into the quality of the product and services which you are being offering. And at the same time, brand, attributes, and benefits and atmospherics of the retailing shops. Why? Because which brand product you are offering, what are the attributes the product is containing, and what is the additional value that product is going to be give. Why? Because a retailer may have a physical touch, direct contact with the customer. So if suppose the customer is not satisfied with the product which he has been purchased from the retailer, the next time he may become and give a complaint. He need not to go to a company. Then he will ask a retailer directly, what is the product you are given to me that is not have a good quality, and why you are suggested me. So like that, if suppose you do not want to face such kind of issues with the customer, it is better to offer the products for selling, the products which are having a quality, the products are from good companies having a good brand, and the product must have a good attributes, and the product, even after doing all these things also, you need to be maintain your retail store. The atmospherics of the retail store need to be soundful. Why? Because atmospherics is a silent salesperson. Sometimes the customer may be visit your shop because of the ambience of the retail store. That is one kind of attraction to attract the customer. So it is the duty of the retailer to maintain a good atmospherics. And to be truly innovative in a retailer should make his offer unique and competitive. Always, there are so many competitors are there in the market. Every retailer is going to do the same job. Is going to be sell his product. But how best you are going to be create your unique position? How best you are going to gain a competitive advantage over your competitors? That is possible when you are offering a product which matches the needs of the customer and which is going to be satisfy the needs of the customer, which is going to be suit the customer requirements, then the customer is going to be satisfied. The customer is very happy. So if you want to offer these kind of quality services to the customer for the best of their satisfaction, you need to be consider the aspects which are being covered by the retail product mix. What are they? Once again, I am saying about the concepts covered by the retail product mix. They are product quality, product, that is normally merchandise, product, product quality, brand name, product features and benefits, atmospherics of the store, customer service, store location, price of the product, and promotion also. This all together, this all together is going to be formed a complete retail product mix. So the retailer need to be concentrate on all these aspects to make his retail firm as one unique retail firm in the competitive market. And then, though he has considered all these things, how he is going to be manage all these things? The first one, merchandise management, product management. Merchandise management means primarily we are going to be concerned with the planning and controlling of the inventories of the retailer. Why? Because every retail shop may have limited space and we may be access the different kinds of customers to our retail firm. Then how to choose the products to offer the different customers? How to manage the proper inventory of the products which are being required to satisfy or to cater the needs of the local area. So here, the merchandise management may be defined by Mr. David Gilbreth. Gilbreth means you all know. You might be studied in your operations management, who has been given that concept of operations management. And the David Gilbert has defined this particular merchandise management as the process of planning and implementation of the acquisition, handling, and controlling of merchandise categories for a specific retailer. What do you mean this merchandise management? Merchandise management is the process of planning and implementation of the acquisition, handling, and controlling of merchandise categories for a specific retailer. So here we need to be plan. We need to be plan the merchandise, what to keep in our inventory. And we need to be handled very carefully. And at the same time, we need to be control. We need to have a control over on merchandise management. Means what are the different kind of merchandise categories need to be offered, that product assortment need to be maintained. So this definition of merchandise management may be given a uh, place to discuss the merchandise means what. Merchandise is being purchased to meet the future demand. Today, whatever we are going to be purchase the merchandise from the wholesaler, manufacturer, or somewhere else from the other suppliers. For what purpose we are going to be purchased? To meet the future demand. Means we are expecting that these merchandise may be useful for the customers in the future period of time. To satisfy those needs, you are going to be purchase the merchandise. So you need to have a proper planning to understand the nature of the customers, the consumption patterns, tastes and preferences and demand for the product. Here, in managing the merchandise, you need to plan very well by understanding the nature of the customer, consumption patterns, tastes and preferences of the customer, and demand for the product. If you know all these things, it is very easy to plan what to be keep in the inventory. And the merchandise in demand is to be acquired from the physical distribution network. That means who are going to be supply like a wholesaler, manufacturer. And those merchandise need to be handled very carefully. Why? Because while you are purchasing and you need to be check whether the merchandise is there in a good condition or not. The suppliers will supply, but while receiving you, it is the duty of you to check whether the merchandise is received in a good condition or not. Why? Because the damaged products may not be sold to the customers. That is the reason you should be very careful. And in other aspect of this managing merchandise is finance. The financial objective of merchandise is an investment decision. Why? Because if though there is a demand for a product, you need not to or you can't purchase as much as required because the budget limit. Sometimes you may not have the sufficient amount in the hands so that you cannot purchase in a bulk. So that what is your budget limit and what are the percentage of different products need to be purchased to satisfy the future needs of the customers. That you need to be taken care while managing the merchandise management. And another term you need to be understood is that category management. Category management is a process in which a company uses a set of categories as independent and strategic business units with focused attention to deliver value to the customer. What do you mean this category management? Category management is the process in which a company uses a set of categories as an independent and strategic business units with focused attention to deliver a value to the customer. Why? Because always you need to be delight the customer. When the customer may be delighted, when he is going to be receive more value than what he expected. So it is the management of one line of products. Category management means one kind of line, one line of products need to be managed. For example, Hindustan Unilever Limited employs category managers for soaps and brand managers for different soap brands, and they are going to be report to the category manager. Means here the HUL you find one soaps category manager for soaps. Under the soaps they are selling different branded soaps, and for every brand there is a brand manager. And each and every brand manager, if he is having any issue facing with that particular brand regarding any kind of aspects, he need to be report to the category manager. So the category manager is going to be taken care what to do, what not to do, and how to handle the issue. So by appointing or by keeping these category managers, what is the use to the retail firm? Why? Because we are not going to employ the people unnecessarily, unless until there is a great benefit, unless until there is a requirement. Then what the category managers are going to do, and what are the benefits the retail firm is going to get by appointing these category managers? One is business procedures. Second one is organizational structure. So coming to the business procedures and practices of retail organizations make change it to suit the needs of the customer. Business procedures and practices of retail organizations make change it to suit the needs of the customer. So the identification of the categories, goals, and roles are made in alignment with the business procedures and practices. So by keeping in the business roles, business procedures, the category managers are going to be prepared their goals and their objectives in terms of formulating different strategies, in terms of managing the budgets, in terms of preparing a sound financial policies. So these all are going to be help a retailer to lead the retail firm and to offer a greater satisfied services to the customers. So every retail firm is going to be appoint the category managers. And the second one, by keeping in the view of organizational structure. Organizational structure means the organizational structure may be vertically structured into different categories, and every such category functions as a separate profit center. So, for example, under CEO, general managers like that in the vertical, here also there are different category managers. Each and every category manager have different category functions, and every category function is act like as a one growth center or profit center. So this category management is going to be involves a category manager or buyer to manage every aspect of the merchandise management. This category manager, what he is going to do in the retail firm means, earlier what we had discussed in the retail product mix and merchandise management, you need to be taken into the consideration of budget, you need to be taken into the consideration of quality, you need to be taken into the consideration of brand, you need to be taken into the consideration of location and atmospherics, everything, whatnot. All these aspects are being taken into the consideration by the category manager. And while managing this category-wise retail firm, the category manager maybe made it as the involves just like as a merchandise group, departments, and stock keeping unit for managing stock as a unit. So these all are the things maybe comes under the organizational structure. In the organizational structure, the sub-level people are going to be report to the higher level people if any issue is taken place. This is about the category management. Then, what are the phases in category management? Till now, we understood what is category management. So consumer is the key to decide the strategy options in category management as it is related to marketing. So consumer is the key to decide the strategy options in category management. Why? Because most of the times in the marketing we have discussed that all marketing activities are formulated by keeping the customer as centric point. And we have discussed the philosophies like customer is the king, and over a period of time we have discussed customer is a queen. But now recently the customers, the marketer is not going to wait so much of time. The customer is also not going to give so much of time to the marketer to the customer may be treated nowadays like a spouse. If you want to retain the customer with you, either you want to delight the customer or divorce the customer. If you are unable to satisfy, if you are unable to delight the customer, immediately the customer is going to shift to the your competitor. That's the reason by keeping the customer as a centric point in the category management, you need to plan. So then in planning of this category planning, what are the steps are involved? So the first step is category vision. The first phase of the category management is category vision. Vision means the top management plans the individual category in terms of customer satisfaction or offering value and differentiation achieved for leadership. So the vision means having a long range objectives. So the top management is going to be plan the individual category in terms of the customer satisfaction or offering a greatest value and differentiation achieved for the leadership. So these category leaders are going to be, excuse me, these category leaders are going to be considered the overall market merchandising vision and strategy as shared vision to the top level management and offers a clarity of objective for the category. For instance, to understand what do you mean category vision, the retail organization for clothing, the retail organization for clothing may envision in the women's clothing category to achieve 30% of its sales consistently. If a retail clothing firm especially in the women's category, their goal is to achieve 30% of the sales from the women's category. So their focus is on women's clothes. So what is our vision? Accordingly, the goals need to be formulated. The second phase is defining category. Once we have formulated what is the vision of our retail firm, then what is the second phase? What is category? A category is an assortment of items. An assortment of items which the consumer may view as a substitute for each other. Please listen carefully. A category is an assortment of items which the consumer may view as a substitute for each other. Means a specific stock keeping unit to the category. Means for every category we need to be allot a specific unit and those products need to be stored in that particular storage unit. For example, the apparel industry may categorize the apparels into ladies, gents, and children's apparels. Wherever you go, you can observe this. The apparel industry categorized into three things: ladies' apparels, gents' apparels, and children's apparels. So each of these categories may carry distinct characteristics. Each of this category have a special characteristics. So that you need to be decide and define what is the categories in our retail form. Why? Because the retail form means we need not to have the same kind of products offered by a retail store in a same way. Once you are defined the category, then you need to be rate role of the category. You need to be define the role of that particular category or category manager. So here, the category role explains the aim of the category in the whole merchandise mix and enhances its relative importance. The category role means what? So here we need to be understand that we need to be formulate, we need to be prepared, and we need to be understand what is the aim of formulating this category. What is the aim of preparing this category? So the aim of the category in the whole merchandise mix and enhances its relative importance. Why we are going to be prepare the different categories? So that each and every category importance may be increased. Each and every category, those people who are responsible to sell the products, their importance may be increased. Why? Because they may be taken a special care. They may be having a special attention towards that particular categorized products. So sometimes what happens means these categories are going to be determining a destination role of the product mix. For example, like a grocery category in a hypermarket. And here, these category stores are going to be motivate the customers who visited the retail store for their impulse purchases. Means the impulse purchases, they don't want to purchase. They do not have an intention to purchase those items. But having a special assortment in a special store unit, the store unit may got attraction by the customer and they got an idea to purchase it. So like this, the importance of the category maybe helps to increase the sales. And fourth phase is category assessment. Category assessment. Category assessment means this category assessment is going to be help in identifying the gaps between the category vision and the present strategic knowledge units or strategic keeping units or store keeping unit. So where you are going to be, where you are do not identify the gaps. Why? Because in a bulk, if you are purchased, there is a chance to miss some kind of products. When you are categorized different products, it is very easy to understand where the lapses are there, where the gaps are there, and we can easily fulfill that. The store keep unit can be analyzed easily, and what are the gaps are there, we can go to fill that particular gaps. And next phase is category scorecard. Scorecard. This scorecard ascertain the performance in the retail business. The performance in the retail business. This scorecard maybe helps to understand what is your performance in the business. And this scorecard may help to set certain business goals for the category while measuring the performance. This scorecard is going to be helps to set certain business goals for that category while measuring the performance. And Next, after understanding all these things, now you need to be formulate different strategies for each and every category. That is called category strategies. These strategies are the best action plans. The best action plans devised to induce the customer to make maximum purchases. This strategy may helps to motivate the customer to make more purchases. So these tactics or these strategies are measured or helps to achieve some objectives, goals, or helps to measure the customer satisfaction. So always strategies maybe helps to increase the purchases and also helps to measure the level of the customer satisfaction. And once you are formulated the customer category strategies, then also you need to be understand some tactics, category tactics need to be applied by a category manager for better sales. What are those tactics? So tactics means well-planned requirements to meet the desired objective or the scorecard targets. So for every category manager, the manufacturer may give some targets. So to meet these targets, he need to be apply some tactics. For that, the category manager need to plan in a well manner how to improve the sales. The strategy is different. It is a long-term strategy, but a tactic in short term. So you need to formulate the strategies. You need to apply tactical, and moreover, sometimes in making a customer to purchase of product, you may behave tactically also. Even our salespeople, tactical behavior also helps in making the more purchases. Sorry. And after doing all these things, we need to do a complete review on all our activities in that particular category store. So this review maybe gives the feedback on our activities. And now these are the different phases in the retail category management. And now, if you want to manage the retail inventory in a successful way, in a more profitable way, you need to know the demand of your products. For that, like in the marketing, what we are studied, here also we need to have a good sales forecasting. Sales forecasting, excuse me. So, the sales forecasting is very important. Why? Because unless until you do not know the demand of your product, and unless until you forecast the future sales, it is impossible to manage a optimum inventory. Why? Because otherwise you may be purchase excessive inventory. Otherwise you may be purchase the low inventory. So that the excuse me, the sales forecasting will have certain importance to manage your retail firm in a well manner. So that first of all, you need to be understand what are the dimensions of the sale forecasting, especially with respect to our retailing. Right? Sale forecasting dimensions comes into the picture. The first you need to be forecasting the merchandise category. Why? Because already we are categorized our merchandise. Each and every retail store, we are having a different category managers. each and every category, there are one kind of product line products are going to be offered for a sale. Then here you need to be forecast that categorized product and what is the demand for such kind of products. So in determining a sales prediction requires a retailer to project the volume of sales for a product category that will sell over a period of time, either for a month or for first quarter or for half year or a year. At a particular fixed period of time, how many sales we may be expect for a single product, for a single categorized product. Then you know, and you can make a good plan. So when you predict the sales of your product for the different categorized products, it will become easy. It will become easy to make a proper inventory. So this production maybe helps to purchase the merchandise based on the product life cycles, and different factors are going to be affect the product category. So this is the one aspect we need to be considered, the forecasting the merchandise category. Though in forecasting of the merchandise may takes place based on the product life cycle stages. As you know that product life cycle stages contains research and development stage, introduction stage, growth stage, maturity stage, and decline stage. These are the 4 stages of the product life cycle. Then if suppose you have taken into the consideration of product life cycle as a base, then how you are going to be forecast the merchandise required for that particular category of products. So here, the merchandise category may be consist the following, like FAD, fad. Fad means, you know, what is a fad? Fad is a merchandise category which generates brisk sales for a short span of time or less than a season. Fad means, if suppose just like a fashion may come for short period of time and after that it will be disappeared from the market. That is called fad. To understand this fad, we may be taking an example of toys for a child, like computer games. Even if suppose the more popular online game, PUBG. PUBG is also lost only for one season. Later, when some other game is invented, children may switch to them. So if suppose you observe the children very carefully, every time they are going to be play new games. Why? Because new games are going to be replace the old games. So here the demand is a fad. So you cannot say that one particular online game maybe give a more number of sales for years together. Okay. Then next, fashion. Fashion means what? So it is a one kind of category merchandise which can be used for many seasons, and sales fluctuate from season to season. Because during that particular season only, those product sales are in a high level or peak level. In another season, the product sales may be come down. Because when there is a fashion, then only the people are going to be purchase that kind of products. For example, this fashion kind of products are depends mostly based on the life cycle of the target markets. For example, denim jeans. The denim jeans may be weared only in a particular season. And third one is staple merchandise or basic merchandise. Staple merchandise means this category of merchandise has a continuous demand irrespective of the season. This is not limited to a short period. Why? Because these merchandise comes under the category to satisfy the basic needs of the customers. For example, the brands of undergarments of men, women, and children The undergarments may be used every day. There is no limit based on the season. There is no limit based on the fashion and like that. So this is called staple merchandise or basic merchandise. And if you want to use some atta powder, rice, this is also one kind of the basic need. So there will be a good demand at all times for these kind of basic products. And fourth one is the seasonal merchandise. Means it is a kind of merchandise whose sales fluctuate from one season to another. Means during one season, the product sales may be at high level. In another season, we don't find the sales. Either sometimes it may be reached to the zero level also. Then how to understand this? So why? Because we are experienced the different kinds of seasons in our country. So for example, woolen dresses and material sells more in winter season, and summer sets in the sales for it dwindles. So here we may understand what are the seasonal products. So the retailers must plan in such a way that their purchases must be based on the seasonal demand. Their purchases must be based on the seasonal demand. This is called seasonal merchandise. Then this is comes under the first one, forecasting the merchandise category. This is one dimension of the forecasting. The second dimension is determining a sales forecast. Determining a sales forecast. Developing a sales forecast is always a challenge for retailers. Why? Because the advances in information technology enhanced the capability of retailers to make sales projections. Why? Because nowadays we have so many advanced technological metrics to project the future sales based on different patterns, based on different factors taken into the consideration. So the sales forecasting for merchandise classifications within the departments use some qualitative techniques like a opinion survey, market survey, or sales force survey, or depth interview, or some historical analysis. So based on this, we may be used some quantitative techniques or sometimes some qualitative techniques to determine the sales for a future period of time. And third one is forecasting the store stock keeping unit, SKU. How much inventory need to be maintained for each and every product in each and every SKU, stock keeping unit. So here, a stock keeping unit is the smallest, SKU is the smallest available unit for keeping inventory control. Why? Because there the retailer may be have a good idea what are the different products and how many products are there in each category wise. So that if what is the demand for each and every product and what is their what do you call uh, 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 purchasing orders and how much time they may be required to replace after making an order, so that he may be plan a better inventory plan to manage the SKU in a well manner. And the next one is collaborative planning, forecasting and replenishment. Collaborative planning. To whom we need to be collaborate? We need to be collaborate with the people who are going to be helps us. So here, how we are going to be get the help from others means this is one kind of software. This CPFR. This software is going to be utilized the data to build a computer-related replenishment forecast, which is generated by the retailer and vendor to execute the buying process and forecast sales. So here you need not to make an order manually. The computer will identify the level of the products and will make an order automatically. So you need not to think about it. So this is also going to be helps us in managing the merchandise in a well manner. And the next one is how to determine the assortment process. How to determine the assortment process. Assortment process, nothing but an assortment is the number of SKUs. SKU means stock keeping unit. An assortment is the number of SKUs within a merchandise category. It is also the depth of merchandise. It is a process of making available at one point of purchase products that are interrelated and bought together. The products are interrelated and bought together by a customer. So there are many such products where the consumers buy together in the assortment. For example, different types of groceries. At the same time, a customer may be purchase the soap as well as the atta powder. Though both are the different products. So here, the variety of assortments and product availability is going to be helps to determine the assortment process. What are they? What are the things you need to be understand? Means here, the category, variety and assortment. What is the category variety? Means the retailers need to be offer a different variety of merchandise categories ranging from consumer electronics to clothing across individuals. Means your retail firm need to become a one point of place to serve or satisfy the all kind of needs of the customer. That's the reason we are using words, especially from the range of electronics to the clothing. Electronics is a complete different category. Clothing is another different category. But if you are able to offer these kind of different category of products at same place, it maybe helps to the customer to shop. So, or else sometimes you may be, excuse me. Sorry. So, sometimes the variety may be limited to select SKUs in the each category. For example, the Metro offers wide category of varieties and assignments, but select SKUs in each category. And the example like gyms, hospitals, specialized services. The hospitals also with some specialized services. For example, eye hospital, dental hospital, heart specialist hospitals. So this is going to be affect the category level, the varieties, and here the number of different types of merchandise and assortment projects the number of SKUs we need to be managed in the retails. So the retailer must decide whether they should focus on category level or the different assortments. So he has to choose his own decision. Next, determining the variety and assortment. So in developing a variety and assortment for category such as jeans, the buyer keeps in mind factors like the firm's retail strategy. Why? Because the gross margin return on investment of the merchandise mix, physical characteristics of the store, trade-off between too much and too little assortment, and the degree to which categories of merchandise complement one another. So these all are need to be understood by the retailer in determining the and keeping the varieties and assortment of the products. And next, it is the duty of the retailer to make available the different categorized products for the customer. Product availability. So a proper assortment plan. If you want to make available all the different kinds of products which you need to be offered to the different kinds of customers, you need to have a proper assortment plan. Proper assortment plan is going to be help you. This proper assortment plan is going to be helps in making a proper replenishment of each SKU stocked in the store. Replenishment. Why? Because when one product is sold off completely and you are not received the or you not refilled that particular level of keeping of that is nothing but managing the safety stock level. If the customers wants those products, then the customer maybe get dissatisfied if the product is not available. So to avoid this kind of difficult situation, you need to prepare a good assortment plan to make available the different products at all the times for availability of the people. Then all the times we are going to be say, you need to be plan, you need to be plan, you need to be plan. Then how to plan? What are the different planning systems are available? So these, when you are talking about merchandise planning systems, so the planning of merchandise system is one kind of strategic process. One kind of strategic process. So there is a need to evolve systems that lead and integrates top level strategy and tactical action. So here we need to be go through the following things. What are they? Review. The review process combines two separate aspects. Pre-season review of performance history. And second one is the aspect of normalization, which involves the process of looking at past results and scaling out bumps to make it helpful and useful as basis for planning. Here, you need to be review what happened in the past and what are the things maybe normalize the process of looking past results and how to scale out the operations. You need to be planned after having a proper review. Then next, financial merchandise planning. So whatever you plan in a marketing, assortment, product merchandise, everything, if you do not have, if you do not align with your financial planning, it is very difficult to achieve the success. Very difficult. For that, what you want means you need to have a good financial merchandise planning. So this merchandise financial planning is going to be involves a strategic plan at the higher level for a longer time period, at a higher level for a longer time period, and it is used to set the critical success factors for merchandising in areas of stock, sales, and profits. The next step is to build channel sales budget. What do you mean channel sales budget? How you are going to be prepare this channel sales budget means this channel sales budget takes into account the impact of new stores, takes into consider the impact of new channels, takes into consider of impact of closure of the existing channels. By analyzing all these things, you need to be plan your financial planning, whether to extend or to close the existing one. And what is its impact on our organization, on our sales. This financial planning must be done carefully and need to be keep in the mind that always this financial plan must align with our merchandise planning and planning system. This plan starts to get input from the single merchandiser, and gap analysis between these plans and the strategic plan will make the retailer stay on course. So always this plan is going to be creates a category level weekly sales, stock and intake plan. So this is going to be help for planning a good merchandising system. Then the another thing you need to be consider is range planning. What is this? Every retailer seeks to offer specific range of stock, which will be an integral part of his strategy, which will be a integral part of the retailer's strategy. So this assortment plan into specific lines of stock keeping units, and this is going to be affects the overall margin mix. This range planning is going to have a great impact on overall margin mix. For example, a change in cost price of an item, a little change in cost price of an item is going to have a great impact on overall profit margin. Then, once you have a good idea about this range planning, then you need to go for space planning. As in the beginning of the class only, I told you. Even in the earlier class also, we have discussed the location strategy, layout strategy. Why? Because for every retail shop or every retail firm, the space is limited. Then how to utilize this space at optimum level? So the space planning systems are numeric and visual in nature. This numeric planning system permits the users to take stock of space available to ascertain ratios like return of space, like return or space. And visual systems are going to be create three-dimensional models of stores to preview the look of a store once ranging decisions are done or not. So this is called space planning. So this is all about what we have discussed, the retail product mix. Retail product mix. For today, we discussed about this chapter retail product mix. If any doubts or questions, the session is open for the clarifications. Please. Yeah. If no more doubts from your end, uh, let's close the session and we'll meet in the next class. Thank you.